I Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly and Jerry Garcia are the two reasons I play guitar. I don't know if you know anything about the Grateful Dead. I love the Grateful Dead. I love Jerry Garcia. I was going to go to the States with a friend to go on the Grateful Dead summer tour. I was so obsessed with Jerry Garcia, and then my friend's dad had a heart attack, and we couldn't go. We decided to stay and save up a bit more money and go the following year, and then Jerry Garcia died. I was always attracted to, with Buddy Holly, just the sound, like just the sound of it. Like he wrote these great, like every song's such a gem of a pop song, but then the guitar, the guitar parts he was playing, I was really taken by them as a kid. And then when I first heard the Grateful Dead, I think Jerry Garcia's kind of like a lot of guitarists, they just, they play what they know, but he always had this kind of searching quality that would, quite often lead to failure. But I like the searching quality of it. And I also found that same thing when I first heard Bill Frisell. I was like, what is this guy why isn't he just, ripping out a solo? But, so maybe that's the thing I'm really attracted to with guitar is people trying to find something new every time they play it. Antelodic's a trio with two saxophones and guitar. It started as an experiment just with my friends, the two sax players, and the idea was that they would form the rhythm section and I'd play all the melodic material. That's the basis of it all. When I formed that ensemble and we played a few songs, I was using the electric guitar, and then I don't know what, I don't remember actually, I picked up a nylon string guitar and it just seemed like it was the right sound for that ensemble. we worked on that for 3 or 4 years, probably just playing stuff and never really being happy with it. It was very hard to make it work. So it took a lot of playing until we really figured out how to make everything sit. But we seem to have found the secret ingredient, and try to work to, there's a lot of counterpoint and everything going on rather than just me just playing chords and the guys blowing over the top, which is not, I'm not interested in that. So, everyone sort of has an equal voice within the ensemble, and we just work hard to make sure particular voices are coming out at the right time, and somebody will have a support role, but maybe just for a few bars, and then so it's a little bit like a school of fish all swimming around together is the way I think of it. It gets me out of playing guitar like a guitarist because I have to come up with different solutions. I was refusing for a while to play any chords for the first few years. I was like, everyone in this trio only gets to play one note at a time. So, and that had an effect on the sound. But it forces me to not fall back on, I guess, guitaristic habits, which is good because I don't want to just do what I can already do. Like everything comes back to sound. So the way something sounds, it just hits you, or it doesn't, and so there's always that kind of hunger to, recreate this sound that you love, and some instrument, you can get that from some instruments and you can't from others. And some people, like Ry Cooder, I think plays a few pretty cheap, nasty guitars, but gets this incredible sound. And so a lot of it, I guess everything has to do with the person playing it and their particular, relationship with the instrument. Personally, I really like sustain a lot. So that's one of the first qualities about Jim's guitars that really stand out for me. A lot of sustain. There's just every note is so clear, so you can it sort of doesn't matter what. You can play any kind of dissonant thing, and you can. It still sounds great, and I guess it's different for everyone, isn't it? Like everyone's looking for different things. I was in this shop and I was playing this guitar that I really liked, but I wanted one with a cutaway at the time. And I said to the guy, "Dude, you got one with a cutaway?" He's like, "Yeah, there's one out the back, I'll go and get it." And he was gone for ages, and he came back and he goes, "I know there's one out there, I just can't find it yet, but why don't you try this while I'm gone?" He knew I was a sucker. So anyway, I kind of looked at it and I thought, "Oh man, this looks terrible." And then I just I was like, "Oh my God." So when he came back, I was like, "You got me, I'm going to take this one." It was another $1,000 or something. So I bought this beautiful old Martin, and sounded great, and I brought it home and I used it for years, and then I moved overseas for a while, and I came back and I pulled it out, and it was kind of collapsing in on itself, and Jim was recommended to me, and I don't understand what he does, but what I got back was this incredible. So I was up all night playing it when I took it home, which I hadn't done for years. When we used to use like the 4-track tape machine and stuff, and and it didn't have a drum machine, so you'd hit a coffee cup with a teaspoon or something, and I find that kind of approach to making things is a bit more creative than getting a drum loop and putting that down and going, is that the right feel? Yeah, that's the right feel. Or put it at 96 BPM and I mean, I'm not knocking that, but it's not. But I don't think it sort of gets your juices flowing as well. But there are a lot of creative people in the world, and yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming out from. I mean, look at Wally DeBacker, like doing a lot of that stuff, just sitting there at home by himself, and that stuff is undeniably creative. Live music is so important because there's nothing like it, and I could probably complain a bit about how it's dying and everything, but I mean, I hardly go and see live music that much myself anymore. Got a family, so there's stuff that even. I mean, I was talking before about not wanting to play the same solo twice and everybody just playing the same thing, but there's still that chemical reaction or whatever when people are playing live. Like I'm sure the Eagles probably play the same, played the same way every night, but and I never saw them, but I've seen footage of it, and it looks pretty electrifying. And there's the whole thing, I guess, is the relationship of the bands and an audience and everyone kind of being there together, feeding off each other, and you can't get that on an album. I mean, and you can, you can record a live album to try and capture that, but it's still not the same thing. You're not there physically, witnessing or being part of a moment. I think maybe that access to, the internet, like the access to, I mean, if we couldn't afford to go out, we'd go and hire the, Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii video, and sit around and watch that. But, and that cost $3. But now, you can sit at home and you could stay there forever without ever leaving your room and never scratch the surface of what's out there, which is kind of exciting, in its own way. But I guess maybe life's expensive now and it's just easier to stay at home and look at a screen than it is to go out and spend the money you don't have. Which is sad, but I don't know, but maybe that's just the way things are now. It's, because people will usually take the easy option. If it's easy to stay at home and order in a pizza and watch something on the box, then they're going to do that rather than get up and go. I mean, most people, but there are people who care. Still in standard tuning. Who wants to be there?